Let me ask you something. What if I told you that the most powerful machine on Earth isn't in Silicon Valley? It's not hidden inside a government lab, and it's not even something you have to search for. Because you already own it. It's been with you since the moment you took your first breath. But here's the problem. Most people never learn how to switch it on. You see, buried inside your skull is a supercomputer more powerful than anything humanity has ever engineered: your brain. Capable of reshaping your reality, turning dreams into legacies, and transforming ordinary lives into extraordinary journeys. But here's the harsh truth. While your brain is built to win, the tragic reality is most people never unlock its true potential. Not because they lack intelligence, but because they were never taught the rules of the game. Picture this. It's 1976. A young man walks into a room filled with bulky computers, towering mainframes, and the kind of technology only megacorporations could touch. But in his mind, he sees something different, a future where computers sit on every desk, in every home, in every hand. His name, Steve Jobs, and whether you admire him or criticize him, one fact remains undeniable: he unlocked a part of his mind most people never dare to touch. A vision so powerful, it reshaped our entire world. But here's the question. What if that same potential lies dormant inside you? Science has shown us remarkable things. Neuroscientists tell us your brain holds over 100 billion neurons, capable of making more connections than there are stars in the observable universe. Imagine that for a moment, the same cells firing in the mind of Einstein, Da Vinci, opera, they exist within you, right now. Yet most of us, we coast through life on autopilot, reacting, surviving, never realizing that inside our very heads is the blueprint for winning in business, in relationships, in life itself. Why? Because no one ever handed us the keys, but that changes. Today, in the next few minutes, you'll discover hidden truths about your mind, secrets buried in history, science, and real life stories, all designed to remind you of one unshakable fact. Your brain is built to win, but only if you choose to unlock it. So stay with me, because once you see what's possible, there's no going back. In the next chapter, we dive into the silent enemy that keeps most people's minds shackled and how to break free. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like there's an invisible wall between you and the life you want? You try harder, you dream bigger, but somehow something keeps pulling you back. It's not your genetics. It's not your background, and it's certainly not your lack of potential. No, the real chains are hidden in plain sight. You see, your brain, as powerful as it is, comes with a design flaw. It was built for survival, not success. Let me explain. Thousands of years ago, your ancestors weren't worrying about building businesses or chasing dreams. They were focused on one thing: staying alive. Their brains evolved to recognize threats, to avoid risks, to stick with what feels familiar. Fast forward to today. That ancient wiring still lives inside you. It's called the comfort zone, and while it kept your ancestors safe from predators, today it's the same invisible force holding you hostage. That little voice that whispers, "Don't take the risk. What if you fail? You're not smart enough, strong enough, worthy enough." Sound familiar? Neuroscientists call it the amygdala's fear response, your brain's built-in alarm system. Whenever you step toward growth, your mind flashes red lights, sounding the alarm. But here's the harsh reality. Comfort zones are prisons disguised as safety nets. Think about it. How many dreams have died because of fear? How many talents have stayed buried because someone was too afraid to fail? The truth is, your brain, as miraculous as it is, will choose comfort over growth every single time unless you reprogram it. Look at history's greatest minds. They didn't succeed because fear magically disappeared. They succeeded because they broke the chains holding them back. Michael Jordan, cut from his high school basketball team, told he wasn't good enough. Most would have surrendered. but he understood rejection isn't a verdict. It's a challenge. Oprah Winfrey, fired from her first TV job, told she wasn't fit for television. Yet she rewired the narrative in her mind and rewrote history. The invisible forces that hold you back, they're not permanent, they're patterns, and patterns can be broken. But first, you have to see them, you have to realize fear isn't the enemy, comfort isn't your friend, because everything you want, the success, the freedom, the fulfillment, it lives on the other side of discomfort. In the next chapter, I'll show you how your brain can be reprogrammed, not just to face fear, but to crave growth. To unlock the winning potential that's been inside you all along, stay with me. Because this is where the real transformation begins. Let me ask you this. If your brain is the greatest supercomputer on Earth, and fear is just outdated programming, then the real question becomes, how do you rewrite the code? The answer, you rewire the mind. And science has already shown us how. You see, for decades, experts believed your brain was fixed. They thought intelligence was a birthright, that you either had potential or you didn't. But then, in the late 20th century, everything changed. Neuroscientists discovered something called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to literally reshape itself, to grow, adapt, evolve at any age. In any situation, no matter your past, imagine that your brain is not a static machine, it's a living, breathing network of possibilities. Let me give you an example. In London, taxi drivers face one of the hardest tests on earth, the knowledge. To pass, they must memorize over 25 zero streets, thousands of landmarks, complex routes that twist and turn like a labyrinth. But here's the incredible part. MRI scans of these drivers show their hippocampus, the area of the brain responsible for memory and navigation, physically grows larger. Think about that. Studying, practicing, repeating. It doesn't just improve performance. It reshapes the architecture of the brain itself. That's the power of neuroplasticity, and it applies to more than memory. It applies to confidence, discipline, courage, success. But here's the catch. Rewiring your brain requires something most people avoid: repetition. Let me break it down. Every thought you have, every action you take, it fires a neural pathway in your brain. The more you repeat it, the stronger that pathway becomes. That's why fear feels automatic, why self-doubt feels natural, because for years, maybe decades, those patterns have been reinforced. But the good news, you can overwrite them. Start visualizing success, your brain adapts. Practice courage, your brain strengthens. Learn a new skill, your brain rewires itself for mastery. It's not magic, it's biology, and it works if you work it. The same science that helped stroke survivors regain movement, the same rewiring that helped addicts reclaim their lives, is available to you right now. But it starts with a decision to stop living on autopilot and start reprogramming your mind for greatness. In the next chapter, I'll reveal the daily habits used by peak performers, the small, consistent actions that literally reshape your brain for winning, and how you can start today. Stay with me, because once you control your mind, you control your destiny. They say success leaves clues, but the biggest clue, it's hidden in plain sight in your daily habits. You see, most people, they chase motivation, they wait for the perfect moment, for lightning to strike, for the stars to align. But here's the truth successful people understand. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And your systems are your habits. Think of your brain like a garden. Every thought, every action, every small decision, it plants a seed. Neglect the garden, it overgrows with weeds, doubt, procrastination, fear, but tend to it daily with discipline, with intention. With small, consistent actions, suddenly the garden flourishes, your confidence grows, your mindset strengthens, your potential begins to bloom. Let me give you an example. The world knows him as The Rock. Dwayne Johnson, actor, entrepreneur, global icon. But behind the fame, a man of relentless, disciplined habits. Up before the sun, workouts when the world sleeps, gratitude rituals, focused routines, day after day, year after year, and what most see as overnight success is really the compound effect of habits stacked, repeated, refined. But it's not just for celebrities. It applies to you, right now. Studies show that small, intentional habits can literally reshape your neural pathways. 5 minutes of focused visualization, 10 minutes of journaling your goals, 15 minutes of learning a new skill. Over time, these micro-actions, they rewire your brain, they shift your identity from I can't to I will, from it's impossible to it's inevitable. And the best part, you don't need to overhaul your life overnight. True change happens through tiny wins repeated daily. It's brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand, training your brain for discomfort. It's choosing water over soda, reinforcing discipline. It's reading 10 pages a day, feeding your mind with new ideas. These aren't random tasks. They're signals to your brain, signals that say, I'm growing, I'm evolving, I'm ready to win. But remember, your mind resists change. It craves familiarity. The first few days, it feels awkward. The first few weeks, it feels uncomfortable, but stay consistent. And discomfort becomes your new normal. Growth becomes your default setting. And suddenly, what once felt impossible becomes inevitable. In the next chapter, we'll uncover the most overlooked success habit of all, and why mastering yourself might be the final key to unlocking the champion within you. Stay with me, because the words you speak to yourself can either chain you down or set you free. There's a voice living inside your head, and whether you realize it or not, it's shaping your reality every single day. It's the voice that whispers when no one else is watching, that echoes in your quiet moments, that dictates the boundaries of your potential. Let me ask you, what does your voice sound like? Is it empowering, or is it tearing you down? Because here's the truth. The words you speak to yourself, they become the architecture of your life. Science calls it internal dialogue, but make no mistake, it's more than just thoughts. It's the script that your brain follows, and your brain, it believes what you tell it repeatedly, unquestioningly, without filter. If you tell yourself, I'm not smart enough, your brain looks for evidence to prove it. If you whisper, I'll never succeed, your actions align with that belief, sabotaging your progress before it begins. But the opposite, it's just as true. When Muhammad Ali declared, I am the greatest, he wasn't just talking to the world, he was programming his mind, rewiring his identity, turning belief into reality, one fight, one victory at a time. Or consider Serena Williams, faced with critics, doubts, injuries. She didn't crumble. She spoke life into her mind. She said, I really think a champion is defined not by their wins, but by how they can recover when they fall. Her self-talk. It wasn't arrogance, it was mental conditioning. You see, every time you speak, your brain listens. Every affirmation, every doubt, every quiet whisper in the back of your mind, it plants a seed. Positive self-talk rewires neural pathways for confidence. Negative self-talk reinforces fear and hesitation. But here's the empowering part. You control the dialogue. You can rewrite the script. It starts with awareness, listening to the stories you've been telling yourself for years and challenging them. I'm not good enough. Says who? It's too late for me. According to what timeline? I always fail. Or have you simply been learning? Your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and repetition. Feed it fear. It will believe you. Feed it possibility. It will believe you. But it's not about blind positivity. It's about intentional belief. Grounded, repeated, empowered self-talk, the kind that builds resilience, that fuels action, that transforms potential into power. In the next chapter, I'll reveal how environment shapes your mind and why your surroundings might be the hidden factor unlocking or limiting your greatness. Stay with me, because changing your world often starts by changing the world around you. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that success isn't just about willpower? It's about where you stand and what surrounds you. You see, your environment, it's like invisible hands, constantly shaping your thoughts, molding your habits, influencing your destiny. Whether you realize it or not, you can have ambition, you can recite affirmations, you can read every book on success. But if your environment is filled with negativity, with distractions, with people who doubt your dreams, eventually their voices drown out your own. It's not opinion, it's science. Psychologists call it environmental conditioning, the subtle, daily programming that comes from your surroundings. Your brain, it's always absorbing signals, the energy of the people around you, the words spoken in your space, the visuals you consume, and over time, your mind becomes a reflection of what surrounds it. Look at history's high achievers. They understood this truth. Take Thomas Edison, inventor of the light bulb, holder of over 1,000 patents. But what most forget, he didn't succeed in isolation. He created an environment of innovation, a laboratory filled with thinkers, creators, dreamers, where failure wasn't punished. It was fuel. Or consider the story of the Wright brothers. Two bicycle mechanics, defying gravity itself, but their breakthrough, it didn't happen in chaos. It happened in a focused, disciplined space, surrounded by blueprints, models, and relentless belief. Your environment, it either elevates you or it cages you. So ask yourself, who's in your circle? What energy fills your space? What messages surround your mind daily? Because success isn't just about discipline. It's about design, designing your space for growth, curating your surroundings for focus, choosing relationships that challenge you to rise. Sometimes unlocking your brain's potential isn't about working harder, it's about removing the anchors holding you down. The distractions, the toxic conversations, the environments that keep your dreams small. But the moment you change your environment, you change your mind, and when you change your mind, your entire life begins to shift. In the next chapter, I'll show you how to align your vision with action, transforming all this untapped mental power into real-world results. So you're not just dreaming, you're winning. Stay with me, because this is where potential meets purpose. Let me ask you, what's the point of unlocking the mind if that power never leaves your imagination? See, potential is beautiful, but it's also useless if it never converts into action. The greatest thinkers, the visionaries, the legends we remember, they all had one thing in common: they aligned vision with execution, because dreaming without doing is just wishful thinking. You can rewire your mind. You can master your self-talk. You can build an environment for success, but at some point, you have to step into the arena, and that's where most people hesitate. They get stuck in preparation. They get addicted to information, but they forget. Action is the bridge between potential and legacy. Let me give you an example. In 1994, a man named Jeff Bezos had a vision, an online bookstore. In a time when people barely trusted the internet, most called him crazy, but he didn't just dream, he executed. It started in a garage with stacks of books, a small team, and relentless action. Fast forward, Amazon became more than a bookstore. It became a global empire, but here's the part most forget. The idea wasn't enough. The mental blueprint wasn't enough. It was the consistent, uncomfortable, often uncertain action that turned vision into victory. So, what does that mean for you? It means stop waiting for perfect conditions. It means start before you're ready. It means understand. Your brain is wired to keep you safe, but success, it lives in the unknown, and action, no matter how small, breaks the cycle of hesitation. Want confidence, act even while afraid. Want clarity, move even when uncertain. Want results, take imperfect steps daily. Because action creates feedback, feedback creates learning, learning rewires your mind, and the cycle of growth continues. The Wright brothers didn't invent flight on the first try. Edison didn't create the light bulb without thousands of failed attempts. Oprah didn't build an empire without rejection. They all had vision, but more importantly, they had the courage to act, again and again, until vision became victory, and so do you, in the next, final chapter. We'll tie it all together, and I'll show you why your brain was never designed to merely survive, it was built to win. If you choose to unleash it, stay with me, because your story is just beginning. Let me remind you, your brain wasn't designed for mediocrity. It wasn't built just to exist, to wake up, survive, repeat. It was engineered for evolution, for creativity, for winning. But here's the truth most people never hear. That potential inside you, it doesn't unlock itself. There is no magic switch. There is no secret shortcut. The final key, it's choice. Every single day, you are faced with a decision: stay small, or lean into the discomfort of growth, ignore your mind's resistance, or rise above the fear that whispers, you're not ready, you're not worthy, it's too hard. But let me ask you, since when has greatness ever come easy? The brain you carry with its billions of neurons, its ability to reshape itself, its endless reservoir of potential, it is not reserved for the lucky few. It belongs to you, right now, and history. It remembers those who dared to use it. Einstein wasn't born a genius, he questioned. He learned. He trained his mind to think differently. Oprah wasn't handed success. She reprogrammed her inner dialogue. She built an environment for growth. She turned vision into action. And you have the same wiring, the same capability, the same choice. Paul's voice softens, but deepens with impact. The world may tell you to stay average, to follow the crowd, to dim your light, but your mind, it was never meant to be caged. It was never meant to live on autopilot. It was never meant to accept defeat as your default setting, because here's the undeniable truth. Your brain is built to win, to solve problems, to break patterns, to dream, to execute, to evolve, to rise, but only if you choose to unlock it. And the journey, it doesn't start tomorrow. It starts now, with the small habits you practice, with the words you speak to yourself, with the environments you design, with the courage to act even when fear lingers, and with the belief that inside your skull lies the greatest supercomputer ever created, waiting for your command. So as you leave this video, ask yourself, will you stay chained to outdated patterns, or will you rewire your mind for greatness? Will you coast through life, or will you awaken the champion within? Because your story isn't finished. Your potential isn't defined by your past and your mind. It was built to win. Final inspirational moment. The keys are in your hands now. Unlock the door, step into your power, and rewrite your future. The world's waiting, but more importantly, your best self is waiting, and trust me, once you unlock your mind, there's no going back.